objective when I first got started was really to put food on the table.
I wanted to make sure that I could, provide for my family.
We were completely broke. We had, $40,000 in credit card debt.
We had no choice but to file bankruptcy, and we did.
I was making about $400 a week. We was barely making it.
I was working 8 to faint, and I had really nothing to show for it.
The wake-up call was my first paycheck working as a school counselor with $780-something, and that's after working a whole month.
Working a job every single day, they dictated what I was worth. I didn't dictate what I was worth.
I was cleaning floors for $9 an hour, and I'm cleaning this floor, and, I remember looking up going, is this it?
In today's environment, we have a lot of families that are struggling. When you're talking about the price of gasoline being $4 to $5 a gallon, and the impact that's having then on just on food, on groceries. So a lot of people today are looking for ways to earn additional income. We also know that a lot of financial advisors are advising people to cut back on their expenditures, their expenses, and I'm opposed really to that type of approach. I believe that what we ought to be looking at is how do we generate more income so that we can have a higher standard of living for our family rather than looking for ways to cut down on that standard of living. And I know that I'm prejudiced, but I believe that prepaid legal services is one of the best ways that exists today for one to earn additional income.
I don't worry about money. All my bills are on auto pay.
Now I have control, I have money, I have time, which I didn't have before. So I have the whole package.
The kind of house we used to dream about, we now live in. The kind of cars we used to dream about, we now drive. The time freedom that we used to talk about, we now have.
Prepaid Legal Services gave me an opportunity to build a business and build an asset that would produce a cash flow for me to be able to still do the things that I love, and still teach and still travel and still be able to wrap it around my life.
Prepaid Legal Services has been just a great opportunity for me. I've taken advantage of it, and I don't have to worry about those things. I don't have to, go rush to work, rush back from work, and I get to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, anytime I want.
Hello, my name is Darnell Self, and I'm a Millionaire Club member with Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated. And today I'm sitting here with my good friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Humes, who's also a Millionaire Club member with Prepaid Legal Services. And today our goal is to educate you a little bit on the prepaid legal opportunity and dispel some myths along the way. I was taught some things growing up that simply don't hold true today. They said things like, Darnell, money can't buy you happiness. Well, look at the smile on my face. I'm telling you that's not the truth. Broke people made that up. They said, stay where we are. But honestly, it's not the money. It's the things you can do with the money when money doesn't matter anymore. I'm telling you, there's a different feeling in the morning when you wake up, not to see how you're going to pay your bills, but to see who you can bless because all your bills have been paid. It's another feeling. My parents told me, Darnell, you got to retire when you get older. You need to prepare for that. And so I equated age with retirement, when absolutely age has nothing to do with retirement, but everything to do with the amount of wealth that you've accumulated. And so all these myths that came about as I was growing up were actually contradicted by some of the wealth education I had along the way with Prepaid Legal. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about those services and how we're able to benefit from those services economically with the Prepaid Legal opportunity, because we believe that there's an opportunity for wealth in America.
Before Prepaid Legal Services, I was a letter carrier for the post office, or a disgruntled mailman, as I like to say. And I did that for about 5 years and really found myself stuck. And I'm not sure if you've ever felt stuck before, but I was working 65, 70 hours a week, and they were paying me just enough so I wouldn't quit. And I was working just hard enough so they wouldn't fire me, and, doing that on a daily basis. And prior to that, going to college for 5 years, and I left college a sophomore after that amount of time. And so, really, I was looking for a true opportunity, one that actually had residual income attached to it. And residual income is basically doing something one time, offering a product or service one time, but positioning yourself to reap the benefits of that over the long haul, over a long period of time. And so, the post office obviously didn't offer that. If it did, then obviously I would be able to profit after every single letter I delivered, but it just wasn't there. And so, it didn't feel like I had a whole lot of options at that point. So I tried a few different business ventures prior to Prepaid Legal Services, and Prepaid Legal was just a perfect fit because it offered a way where I could truly help other people, but I could also make a tremendous living. And something that I started out on a part-time basis just to supplement my income turned quickly into full-time income. And within 9 months, at 26 years of age, I was blessed to walk away from the post office as a letter carrier for the post office. I earned a six-figure income at 27 years of age, and at 31, made my first $1 million from home. But the beauty of that is not the income that the company has paid me, but it's seeing the thousands of other individuals that we've been blessed to help out through the opportunity, or introduce, I should say, to the opportunity, who've also been blessed to make a 6- and 7-figure income as well.
So obviously you've got to believe in what it is that you're doing in order to be successful in anything. So let me ask you, do you think that the services, the prepaid legal membership, has anything to do with the success that you've been able to have?
Absolutely. I believe that the membership is incredible, but more so it's my belief in the membership now, having used the service dozens of times now. And it's funny because at 25 years of age, I never used an attorney before. Didn't plan on using one for the next 25 years of my life. So I remember being asked, or asking the question rather, why would I prepay for something I've never used and don't plan on using? And the gentleman responded, Mike, it's not if you've used an attorney, but how many times have you needed the use of one? And I'm sure every single person out there can see a value in positioning themselves to basically level the legal playing field, but just didn't know that it was out there, didn't know that it exists. And I think the service is really a byproduct of the success, knowing that you can offer something that you would offer for free. You know, if the contractor didn't come back to finish fixing a family member or a friend's roof, I would tell them, hey, you need to call Prepaid Legal. You need to get your last will and testament, a living will, a doable power of attorney done. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to get that done when you can have it done complimentary through our prepaid legal membership. So what I saw was a way where for pennies a day, for a minimal amount, I can actually have access to good quality attorneys that everyone could afford for less than a bottle of water a day. So it really just made sense. And anything that typically makes sense now will make dollars for you later.
The way I like to describe the service that we provide is that it's a life events legal service plan. It covers the things that happen to people in everyday life. And every day, you know, we all have some types of problems. And usually there is some type of legal solution to those problems, but most people don't think about that. Most people are conditioned not to think about using a lawyer because they don't know lawyers. They're intimidated by lawyers, and they're concerned about what it might cost. So what we wanted to do, and what we have done, is to develop a plan that gives the average American family unlimited access to the top quality lawyers in North America. I mean, you don't even have to pay for the phone call. It's a 1-800 number, and you can pick up the phone as many times as you want to. If that's 3 times today and 5 times tomorrow, and you want to use it every day, every week, you can do that to get the answers and to get the legal help that you need. So we're really talking about giving you access to quality legal services on any and every type of legal problem that might happen within your family.
It's a calculation we make someday. We said, you know, someday we'll be sick, and someday we'll need a filling, and someday our kids will wreck our car, and or maybe we'll do it ourselves, and someday we may be sued, or someday we may need to sue somebody that has hurt us. And so what Harlan did is he said, you know, people believe in putting a few dollars down on a regular basis so that they're covered when things happen. And he was able to aggregate a lot of that together, and good lawyers who would work at a good rate because of the broad coverage that they were able to get. And I think it's been a great American success story.
My duty is to ensure that African American communities are as economically viable as any other community in this great nation of ours. However, there are challenges and there are problems. And one of the big problems is adequate legal representation. There is no other place where legal representation means so much than just the daily living of the United States of America. I have seen many people get ruined, be abused, be pushed around because they had poor attorneys or could not afford a good attorney. Prepaid Legal Services is an answer to that. Good legal representation at a very affordable price.
Lawyers, the legal profession, the courts, the judges, they want every citizen to be able to access the